The Russian ruble has fallen to its lowest point since early 2022, briefly trading above 115 against the US dollar. The steep decline in the ruble, a currency often managed by Russian authorities due to its role as a key indicator of the country's economic health, now leaves 1,000 rubles worth less than $10. The collapse is partly driven by last week's US Treasury sanctions, which prohibited Russia's third-largest lender, Gazprombank, and over 50 smaller banks from conducting energy-related transactions with U.S. entities. Fears regarding a sharp escalation of the war in Ukraine after the U.S. and U.K. allowed unrestricted use of ATACMS and Storm Shadow have also stoked the ruble's decline. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes how unrestricted use has now enabled ATACMS and Storm Shadow to take full toll on Russia. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted VPN brands worldwide that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte, an industry-leading Big Four auditing firm. NordVPN provides an encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy by preventing external entry to your internet traffic, as well as enabling you to access content that's blocked based on geolocation. Best of all, with one NordVPN account, you can secure up to 6 devices at the same time. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive savings by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Since Russia invaded Ukraine, the West has supplied lots of weapons, which include potent weapons like ATACMS and Storm Shadow. But a restriction had been imposed. Ukraine couldn't use them for strikes inside Russian territory. In contrast, Russia frequently conducts strikes deep within Ukrainian territory, creating an unfair and unequal situation. This condition hampered Ukraine's ability to defend itself effectively, akin to fighting with tied hands. Recently, the restrictions were lifted. While tactical challenge faced by Ukraine were one of the reasons, the potential use of North Korean troops in the conflict seems to have played a key part in this. MGM-140 Army Tactical Missile Systems, or Army ATACMS, is a surface-to-surface missile manufactured by the U.S. defense company Lockheed Martin. It's 13 feet, or 4 meters in length, 24 inches, or 610 millimeters in diameter, and weighs 3,690 pounds, or 1,670 kilograms. It has GPS-aided inertial navigation for guidance. Due to its ballistic path and high speeds of more than Mach 3, during the terminal phase of flight, Army ATACMS is difficult to intercept when compared to other types of missiles, like subsonic air-breathing cruise missiles. The smaller size compared to cruise missiles like a Tomahawk also helps it to evade interception. Army ATACMS has several variants that have different types of payload: cluster munition warhead, unitary warhead. Depending on the variant, Army ATACMS can strike as far as 186 miles or 300 kilometers. M142 High Mobility Artillery Rocket System, HIMARS, and M270 MLRS, provided to Ukraine, can fire the Army ATACMS. Army ATACMS have GPS-aided inertial navigation guidance, which results in very high accuracy. Storm Shadow is an Anglo-French, low-observable, long-range, air-launched cruise missile developed since 1994 by Matra and British Aerospace, and now manufactured by MBDA. The French equivalent is known as Scalp EG. Storm Shadow entered into service in 2002. RAF Tornadoes used Storm Shadow missiles operationally for the first time during the 2003 invasion of Iraq. It's comparable to cruise missiles such as the American AGM-158 JASSM and the German-Swedish KEPD-350 Taurus. Storm Shadow is equipped with a TR-60-30 turbojet engine, providing it with a max range of 250 kilometers or 155 miles and a top speed of Mach 0.95. It has a 450 kilograms or 990 pounds two-stage Roach warhead. Storm Shadow is a precision strike weapon that uses inertial navigation, GPS, and terrain reference navigation for mid-course guidance and imaging infrared seeker and automated target recognition software for terminal guidance. Since the restrictions were lifted, Ukraine has been using the two weapons to hit specific targets inside Russia. On the 21st of November, Kyiv used Army ATACMS to strike a military facility in Bryansk. Also on the 21st of November, Ukraine launched a barrage of Storm Shadow against a command post in Mar'yino, a village in Kursk. Telegram posts from Russian war correspondents indicate at least 12 to 14 explosions could be heard. Reportedly, it killed Russian General Lieutenant General Valery Solodchuk and several North Korean troops. On the 23rd of November, 2 out of 5 Army ATACMS launched at a Russian S-400 air defense system hit the target, damaging its radar system. On the 25th of November, 8 Army ATACMS were aimed at the Kursk-Vostochny Airport, which also hosts a military airbase. The Kremlin has frequently downplayed Ukrainian missile and drone strikes, often attributing damage to falling debris from intercepted missiles hitting and igniting infrastructure. But on this occasion, Russia's defense ministry acknowledged that Army ATACMS struck an S-400 air defense radar at Lodorevka and the Kalino airfield. Targets in Bryansk and Kursk were almost out of bounds for Ukraine. While Kyiv has developed its own long-range Neptune missile, it's available in limited numbers. This is where unrestricted use of Army ATACMS and Storm Shadow helps. Earlier, Ukraine was unable to target launch sites, warehouses, and supply routes, and Russia could continue its offensive unhindered. Moreover, the restrictions allowed Russia to amass troops near the Ukrainian border and potentially launch an attack at any given time. Ukraine was unable to strike these units to disperse them and prevent the accumulation of critical forces. As a result, Ukraine is forced to rely on building up its own troops, thereby exposing them to the risk of being targeted by Russia. This placed Ukraine at a significant disadvantage. Now the situation has changed. Russian President Vladimir Putin knows it, and that's why he ordered the use of Oreshnik hypersonic missile in order to deter strikes inside Russia. The Russian Ministry of Defense stated, on November 21, 2024, in response to the use of American and British-made long-range missiles against facilities on Russian territory, the armed forces delivered a combined strike on one of the Ukrainian military industrial sites in Dnepropetrovsk. For the first time, the Oreshnik hypersonic intermediate-range ballistic missile with a non-nuclear payload was employed in combat conditions in the strike. It's unlikely that Oreshnik's use will result in a shift of stance from the US and UK, and it's probable that Russian forces will experience the impact of Army ATACMS and Storm Shadow even more in the coming days.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.